Okay, good morning, everyone. We will call the meeting to order at 10:05 and start with roll call.
Commission members Brown.
Present.
Harris.
Present.
Hernandez.
Lead the pledge.
Absent. Her.
Present.
McCracken. Present. Vice Chair Little.
Present.
Chairman Mercy.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Vice Chairman Little will lead us in our pledge.
You all stand, place your hand over your heart and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll go into presentations. We have the community preservation update. Okay, Mr. Hai Nguyen, thanks for being here.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, Chair Mercy and members of the commission. If I've ever felt imposter syndrome before, it's at this moment right now, standing before such an esteemed group, and also standing next to the real heroes keeping the city safe. While I have the podium, I just want to give a shout out to the captain and the chief for yesterday's presentation at the city council. Essential viewing for people that really care about the community, so great job on that. But I digress, because today we are here to provide you with staff's perspective. My name is Hai Nguyen. I proudly represent the community development team of the city. So for today's presentation, we'd like to present to you a quick reintroduction to the community development department, focus on our current efforts of the community preservation team, AKA code enforcement, and also we'll talk a little bit about the couple tech AI programs that we're using. Then we'll end with a couple big city programs, and all the while we'll introduce some key staff members that, so I won't have to be the only one talking. So community development is led by our director, Patty Garibay, and consists of 5 main teams. The planning team works on land use entitlements. One major project that we recently got approved from LAFCO is the West Side annexation, where we are literally growing the city by about 11 square miles. And if you have additional questions about that, Commissioner Hernandez serves on the Planning Commission, so she's too familiar with everything that we do there. Housing works on expanding affordable housing opportunities for our constituents. So one program that recently launched is the ADU Loan Assistance Program, which provides an interest-free loan for families wanting to build an ADU but need a little help. Building and safety is pretty self-explanatory, and they are led by our chief building official, Matt Wyatt, who's actually in the audience right now. Beautification team works on literally beautifying the city's parkways and medians and other things. But today's main topic is the community preservation team. And I'd like to introduce our new manager, Justin Hilleman, who has about 2 decades of local government experience, specifically in code enforcement. Justin?
Thank you, Hai. Chair Mercer, commissioners. As I mentioned, I am Justin Hillman, the Community Preservation Manager, which consists of code enforcement staff and parking enforcement staff. I believe that code enforcement directly protects public health and safety while enhancing the quality of life for the entire community. Through fair and consistent enforcement, code enforcement promotes safe housing, clean neighborhoods, and well-maintained properties that support community pride and stability, emphasizing education, voluntary compliance, problem solving, technological enhancements. The program works collaboratively with residents and businesses to achieve compliance while ensuring equity and public trust. Ultimately, code enforcement serves as a vital public service that strengthens neighborhoods and contributes to safe, healthy, and resilient communities. Our team here works on a myriad of programs such as unpermitted street vending enforcement, parking enforcement, noise nuisances such as barking dogs, mobile home inspections, residential rental inspections, business licensing, commercial property enforcement, and abandoned property vacant lot enforcement. I'm very excited to continue the work with our partners, Chief Armelin, the LPD, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, on joint efforts to combat major issues such as illegal cannabis cultivation, illegal street vending, illegal gambling dens, and any other dangerous properties that pose public safety threats. I have a great team of code enforcement officers and parking enforcement officers, and I wanted to share some stats from last year. Calendar year 2025, the community preservation team condemned over 4,000 pounds of a potentially hazardous food from illegal street vendors while impounding 10 vehicles, including their cooking apparatus. Parking enforcement issued over 37,000 parking citations while focusing on health and safety violations, such as handicap stalls, fire lanes, and abandoned dismantled vehicles that are being stored on public roadways. Staff towed over 410 vehicles from those public roadways. Code enforcement staff received and responded to 2,764 code enforcement cases, effectively closing 1,922 of public nuisance violations. For example, staff resolved over 1,000 violations that pertain to unmaintained properties, consisting of junk, trash, debris, unkept landscaping, and inoperable and dismantled vehicles, just to name a few. I understand that improving technology with AI is a huge importance to the city. So at this time, I'd actually like to turn it over to one of our code enforcement officers, Emmanuel Contreras, who's going to talk about those programs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and Commission. My name is Emmanuel Contreras, and I'm a Code Enforcement Officer in the Community Development Department. Today, I'd like to share a couple of technology initiatives our team is implementing as part of the city's ongoing effort to modernize operations, improve customer service, and strengthen our record keeping. Our first major tool is Acela, a system already used by Building and Safety and Planning. It serves as a comprehensive permit and case database, helping us track thousands of records in one place. Over the past 18 months, our staff, working closely with our amazing IT team, has been building a dedicated code enforcement module within Acela. Once fully implemented, we'll be able to generate meaningful metrics and statistics that will guide our enforcement strategies and support data-driven decisions. As Lancaster continues to position itself as a leader in technology and innovation, City Detect has become a key part of that progress. On my right, you'll see that we've equipped 4 city vehicles with the City Detect technology. Each vehicle now includes, sorry, I gotta get that running. Each vehicle now includes onboard computer and set of extremely advanced cameras developed by Carnegie Robotics, giving us high precision imaging capabilities as we move through the city. Under the vision and leadership of the City Council, our team partnered with City Detect, a tech company focused on transforming how local governments understand and interact with their built environment. These Carnegie Robotics cameras capture high-quality images of property while the vehicle is in motion, and no stopping is required. City Detect's AI then analyzes those images, identifies potential code violations, and generates heat maps that show where the greatest needs are. This allows us to focus our resources where they'll have the most impact. This program will significantly reduce the need for manual field inspections, automatically detect violations, and provide up-to-date photos and data directly to our enforcement officers. At this time, I'd like to introduce Nicole Jones, who will share a couple of additional programs designed to help our city.
Good morning. As you mentioned, I'm Nicole Jones. I'm the Senior Analyst for the Community Development Department. So technology and AI help us identify issues earlier and improve efficiencies, but success depends on having policies and programs in place to apply those tools consistently and effectively. So recently we did an amendment to the Vacant Property Ordinance 9.55 to address ongoing challenges surrounding commercial properties. This was approved by Council on December 9th. The prior ordinance did not adequately address the growing number of commercial vacancies in our city. We do have a dedicated community preservation officer working with commercial property owners to be a good neighbor, but we lacked the necessary enforcement authority to ensure compliance. So as part of our broader effort to transform long-standing challenges with vacant properties into opportunities for revitalization and reinvestment, we created a new program that addresses these issues. This update establishes a balanced vacant property compliance program that rewards compliance and penalizes neglect. It ensures that responsible property owners are treated fairly while chronic violators bear the cost of their impacts. The program provides a clear framework for registration, monitoring, and proactive property maintenance. We have all commercial properties register and provide a letter of agency. This information is critical so that the city can communicate efficiently if a property's status changes, respond quickly to issues that affect public safety, and administer the program consistently and fairly across the community. Once a property becomes, or if it already is vacant, they need to notify city staff within 30 days. Registration of a vacant property then prompts an inspection by one of our officers where each business is placed into a specific category based on current conditions. We have 4 categories, with the first one being stable. An example of a stable property would be no more than 1 minor code violation within the prior 12 months with timely correction. The structure is well maintained and can easily be lived in or used for its intended use. At risk is the second one, 2 to 3 verified code violations, properties beginning to fall into disrepair, may include conditions such as, but not limited to, peeling paint, dead or dying ground cover, overgrown vegetation, graffiti. Our most severe category is failed. An example would be 4 or more verified code violations, unresolved or repeated after enforcement, 3 or more calls for law enforcement or code enforcement services related to trespass, vandalism, or unsafe conditions. Our 4th category is the one we're going to be honing on the most, which is an activation plan. They would pay the registration charge only, and I'll be talking about this a little more on the next slide. The ordinance update also includes specific maintenance standards. These standards create consistency across our commercial corridors. Sorry. We do, as I mentioned, we do encourage activation. That can be something as simple as window art or temporary uses. You see the Halloween stores come into town for a few months out of the year, or community installations. An example of that would be a nonprofit agency utilizing a vacant building for after-school programs or other temporary uses. The ordinance also gives us stronger enforcement options, such as administrative citations, liens for unpaid charges, performance deposits for chronic offenders. These tools ensure that long-term noncompliance can't continue unchecked. It protects our neighborhoods and our business corridors. It keeps property values high and fosters pride of ownership, recovers the true cost of enforcement, and creates incentives for activation and reoccupancy. Alongside clear standards and enforcement for our commercial properties, the city is also focused on prevention and partnership in our residential neighborhoods, providing property owners with tools to maintain attractive, well-managed spaces. That's where the Yard Smart Lancaster program comes in. This was approved by council at the last council meeting, not yesterday, the 2 weeks prior to that. This is a beautification and water conservation initiative where we will be replacing front yard turf with drought-tolerant landscaping. It encourages voluntary code compliance and improves neighborhood appearance and sustainability. Our target area is the inner core of our city, which is Avenues I to L and 20th Street East to 30th Street West. And eligible improvements include turf removal, irrigation upgrades, and native plant installation. We're going to be providing a max of $15,000 grant per property, and it is currently funded with the general fund offset by vacant commercial property program revenue. We estimate that we'll be able to assist 8 to 10 homes by July 1st of this calendar year. We're targeting specific neighborhoods within the inner core that need the most help, and we're going to be coordinating with LPD, code enforcement, local businesses, and volunteer organizations. Future expansion of the program will be supported through sponsorship and future budgets. The community impact will be wide. It will include improved curb appeal and neighborhood pride, 30 to 50% reduction in water use per property, and equitable access to beautification resources. We recently did an event, Team Up Lancaster, which I think you're all familiar with, and we did a pilot at that event for this program. It was last month. So Landscape Connection and Tip Top Arborists came in and 100% sponsored the pilot and helped us transform a street across from Mariposa School with tree trimming, and then also completely redid this front yard. So you can see just in one 4-hour event the impact that this program can have. So what's next for this? We're going to be coordinating, as I mentioned, with LPD and code enforcement to identify priority neighborhoods where targeted owner-approved beautification improvements can support community stability and broader neighborhood stabilization efforts. These programs represent part of a broader ongoing effort by city staff to strengthen neighborhoods in Lancaster and as well as our business corridors. Staff is available for any questions you may have.
Thank you.
I do.
Questions?
Question. Yeah, so all the commercial property owners has to register on this program, right?
Mhm.
No
Yes.
exceptions.
Yeah,
So registration fee is $250 per year
if the property is vacant only.
if it's a property is vacant.
Yeah, if the property is not vacant, all they have to do is go online and fill out the registration form and the letter of agency, and that's it.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does this tie into the agreement that renters or property owners have to do a process through the city prior to get permitted to rent?
No, it's separate from
It's
it.
separate. So problem properties that you are identifying, and Chief, we talked about this a while ago, we used to get reports on problem properties, ones that were real problem properties, and the city attorney would bring it to our attention. We don't get that anymore. We talked about getting that again. Would this be something that would fall into this category here too?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we would be able to get something on a regular basis for us to look at and see?
Yes.
Sorry. I don't know who.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, we'll be gathering a lot of data with this program. And we also will be able to provide updates as
That'd be great.
regularly as you need.
So we'll be able to get that on our monthly meetings then or something like that. Is that possible?
Yeah,
To have
potentially.
that with our, every report that we get?
Yeah,
'Cause
we're
that was
working
always
towards
something that
doing
was
that.
very informative to us, looking at problem properties, centers, and everything else. And some of us being in the business that we're in, it would be helpful, you know.
Does a owner of a commercial property have to report a vacancy when it becomes vacant? If he has a strip mall and then there's one vacancy, does that property now have to be reported?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have an estimated account of how many commercial properties are vacant at this point?
No, we don't yet. We're still gathering all the information. The letters just went out a couple of weeks ago, so we're still in the information gathering stage. But I'm hoping in the next couple of months that we'll be able to have that data. I can tell you there's about 1,400 commercial properties in Lancaster.
Does-
Thank you.
Does a commercial property owner has to have a business license? And then the person that's going into this place of business has to have a license. So there'll be 2 business licenses for that piece of property?
Potentially, yes.
Has that always been in place, that
Yes.
the owner of the property
Yes.
who developed the building and everything else and
Yeah.
has rental spaces, they have to have a business license to?
Yes.
Great.
Is
thank-
it possible we're able to get this presentation emailed to us?
Yes,
I'd
absolutely.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, not a problem.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a great presentation. It's great to see that going. One last question. Is there anything we can do to help, in terms of getting the word out,
Chair
that
Mercy, to answer your question, just your mere existence as this body and having collaboration with all these great men and women, I think that's enough. We have a lot of things to do, and we'll be sure to have a little bit more of a presence at this meeting and other events and things like that throughout the city. So we'll be here for you. As always, staff is available if you have any questions. We'll be sure to email you the presentation. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, looking forward to constant updates.
Yeah. Thank you. Next up, we have Lancaster Police Department, Chief Armelin. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. It's good to see you, Chairman and Commissioners. So First, I have to apologize. I won't be sticking around, but I am happy to tell you the reason is we are, as I mentioned last night in our presentation with Paul, and he's going to share some good information with you guys today, is that we are hiring 14 more officers, and we're doing interviews today. So I have to go and sit in on some of those interviews. But I do want to take a couple seconds here. I want to tell you, this is an incredible comm dev department we have here. I've gotten to work closely with a lot of these individuals, and they are top notch. And as I've mentioned, I've been around quite a few cities, but these folks are taking care of us. So it's good to know they're going to be in here letting you know all the great work they do daily. So, so we wanted a chance to tell you about our drone program, and it is state of the art. It really is. And while I came up here with the idea of bringing a drone program, because at my previous police department, we implemented a drone program, the plans and what it's turned into, I cannot claim that. That is my great drone manager here, Tim Bush, who's going to come up and talk to you, as well as our drone pilot is going to come up and talk to you, Drew. So I'm not going to delay on that. I just wanted to let you know that what we're doing here with the drones is amazing, and we have more plans to add to this program. So at this time, I'm going to bring Tim up.
Well, before you start and before you head out, I just want to thank all of your team, your officers and staff and community development. And I've heard just in the last couple months, and we've been talking about some of these problem properties, I've heard unsolicited positive feedback, and so very much appreciated.
Very much, yeah.
Okay.
Good
Welcome.
morning, Chairman Mercy. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tim Bush. I run the drone program for the City of Lancaster Police Department. We've nicknamed the program the Viper Program. It stands for Visualized Incidents Protection and Emergency Response. And we're going to take this opportunity to go over the program with you. To my left is Drew Hubner. She is an FAA certified drone pilot, one of 3 that we have for the police department. And she's going to go over some of the equipment that we use.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. So here we have our fleet of drones. So the top 2 are our public safety drones. Bottom left is used for mapping and media capture. The middle one there, super small, it can go in GPS-denied environments, inside houses. And the bottom right there is our dock drones that we have situated across the city. And then here is our mobile response vehicle. As you can see, it has room for all of our equipment that we need. Its main uses is for rapid response and extended duration missions. Everything that we use for law enforcement, infrastructure, disaster response, and aerial footage. And here is our 360 inspection system. It captures and documents houses the way that they are when we walk through them. So here we have a illegal cannabis house, and this is exactly the way it was when we walked into it. It's perfect for capturing all information, and if we may miss anything during our initial walkthrough, we can refer to this and capture anything, any violations we may have missed.
So that's some of the equipment that we use for the program. We made this quick video that kind of goes over how we use that equipment. So hope you guys enjoy.
Lancaster, we're not just adapting to change, we're leading it. Introducing the Viper program. Visualize incidents, protection, emergency response. The City of Lancaster's drone program is more than a flight of technology. It's a forward-thinking tool for public service. From the skies, we gain a clearer view of what's happening on the ground. During major events, Viper provides real-time visibility and visual coverage, enhancing both safety and storytelling. Beyond law enforcement, Viper supports any city agency with aerial tools. Viper also plays a critical role in identifying and monitoring encampments, helping outreach teams bring resources and solutions to our unhoused residents. Our drones help tell Lancaster's story, capturing stunning visuals for city communications, showcasing development, and celebrating community events. Viper gives Lancaster new perspective on its infrastructure, capturing precise imagery that supports smarter repairs, future planning, and proactive public works. Our 360-degree iGuide scans are transforming how we document and investigate property. And coming soon, Lancaster will launch its Drone as a First Responder program, deploying autonomous drones from 3 key locations to respond within seconds to calls for service. A better way for our law enforcement agencies to serve our communities, aiding in search and rescue missions, managing traffic and providing real-time surveillance when it's needed most. In partnership with Paladin and connected with LTE connectivity, fleet management and video sharing through the Watchtower dashboard, augmented reality overlays for real-time insights, share live video feeds instantly, anywhere with any device, autonomous takeoff, landing, and charging, ready in just 25 seconds for seamless operations. By using drones, it can help decrease response time and increase situational awareness. Drones give law enforcement the tools they need to protect lives while staying safe themselves. This is more than technology. It's the future of public safety.
Okay, so the last part of that video, it talked about the Paladin DFR program. I said coming soon, but we do have that in operation. It's been going since October. My watch is saying high heart rate, sorry. So we do have that going. The DFR stands for Drone as a First Responder. We have 3 pre-positioned drones throughout the city, and it allows us to have rapid remote UAS deployment on incidents. We were gonna fly a live demo of our DFR, but we didn't know what was gonna happen with the weather, so we did a screen capture of basically our computer screen of what we see. So we wanted to share what it looks like. So if we get an incident, we're gonna open up the box that's on the roof. And then we'll pick the location. So on this one, I just picked City Hall and hit start. The drone will fly up to 200 feet. Once it's at the 200 feet, it's gonna beeline to the location. Doesn't have to wait for stoplights, anything like that. And then once it's at the location, we could zoom in and look at items or the incident. On this one, I wanted to show you the zoom capability. So imagine a license plate. I'm just zooming into the monument in the front, but zooms in great and gets a clear image. Once the incident is over with, we hit return to home and that drone flies back home.
It flies back automatically?
It'll fly back automatically. And once it lands, the dock will close and it'll begin charging, ready for its next mission.
Pretty cool.
These are the flight areas of our 3 drones and its radiuses. The circles represent 1, 2, and 3 miles. And we do have overlap with the 3 drones. We're hoping to put more drone in a box solutions out there. Some of the stats for last year and this year. For the response vehicle and drone as a first responder, we had 217 missions. 51 of those were DFR flights just from October to December. This year alone, we've already done 81 DFR missions. So it's definitely being used, and we're getting situational awareness for our officers and for the public. And that's it. We're here for any questions.
Are you limited with where you can fly?
Yeah, a little bit. So the red lines on this screen shows where Plant 42 and Foxfield airspace doesn't allow us to fly into. We can get into those areas with the response vehicle and what's called a special government waiver. But we're also working with the FAA to get into those red zones.
Right. Awesome.
You currently have 3 locations. Is that enough to cover the city, and how many locations do you anticipate you'll need?
That's a question more for the chief for how many we can get, but we do cover about 80% of the most populated areas of Lancaster.
So actually, Commissioners, it's interesting you asked that question because during last night's presentation, I was asked the same thing, and before I could answer, the Vice Mayor said, yep, you're getting more money to get more drones or more technology.
Okay.
So more are coming, and we'll map out where the key areas in the city are. Tim and Drew handle that, and they base it on a lot of the statistics, and we talk to the Sheriff's Department about where would these things best be placed. So definitely more coming.
Now, is that working, the drones working with the Lancaster Police Department as well as LA County Sheriff?
Yeah, the Sheriff's Department is actually about to change their department policy, which is going to be really great, and allow us to work really closely together. They will have full access to all our drone systems once they update this policy. Currently, if there's a problem in the city, because we are a full-fledged police department, we deploy anyway, and then we make sure that the Sheriff's Department knows we do have real-time intelligence we can give them if their airship isn't overhead. But as soon as this policy changes, I think they're probably going to use it more than we are.
And we've worked with other agencies too, like the FBI, U.S. Marshals.
And throughout the state of California, could you tell us how many cities have this in place already?
I don't know that off the top of my hand, but I can get that
I mean,
information to you.
is it quite common? Or
It's becoming the norm.
I know, Tim, right now we know
Chula Vista, Santa Monica. It's a lot of agencies are onboarding this type of technology. It's becoming very common. And San Francisco and Berkeley actually ran theirs. They stopped theirs for a while, but they're running theirs, which is pretty surprising.
About a year ago, you had us come out here, and you had one in a vehicle right outside here. It was very, very impressive. And one of the things that became clear to me is how important the operator is. These things are tricky to drive, but they allow you to go into all kinds of areas that would be dangerous for deputies to go into and see and do all kinds of things that we previously couldn't do. I have a feeling this is the tip end of this process. I think this is going to explode and get bigger and better.
And I apologize, what was the DFR stand for?
Drone as a first responder. So the idea is to get the drone there first. That way we have situational awareness for our officers.
And I think I had the opportunity to be with you when we were counting the homeless with LASA.
Yes.
And it was an incredible experience to get to see you, exactly what you said, Dr. Brown, being taken into areas that the cars and the trucks couldn't go in. And your collaboration, I know that day was very valuable to being able to get into areas and take the data we needed for such an important report. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just going to add a couple of quick things. As the captains will tell you and the officers in the room, there's nothing more, I would say, valuable for an officer than get that real-time intelligence of what they're rolling into so they know what they're dealing with. And also, one of the things that they didn't harp on a lot was you saw this small drone in the middle, that indoor drone. So that thing is fantastic. And one of the ways we recently used it is while we were doing these community cleanups, the homeless are down inside the tunnels and the freeway overpasses, and we're able to send that in and get excellent footage of what's in there before we send in our homeless team or any officers to get that thing in there and know if somebody's hiding, know if there's a trap set. It's amazing. It's a super valuable tool, that small indoor one as well.
Have you had any issues with anyone trying to damage it or destroy them at this point?
So normally we're at 200 to 400 feet. Normally nobody knows it's there.
Well, the ones that go through the buildings or anything that's a little lower.
Yeah, so I know if there's somebody in there, it's gonna get damaged. It's gonna get knocked out of the sky.
Okay.
But it's a $2,000
yeah.
piece of equipment versus a person.
Okay.
How long is the flight time with the one charge?
So the DFR drones, their average flight time is about 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And we do have overlap on some of our areas, so when one drone's flying back, the other one can go. And that's the idea of getting more drone-in-a-box solutions out there, is so that we can leapfrog basically with the drones to get continued coverage.
Tim, you said the radius is about 3 miles, you said?
Correct.
Yeah, that's the maximum you want to go.
Yeah, we had to get a special waiver to fly beyond visual line of sight
Oh, do you?
for that type of flight.
Oh, okay.
And having the mobile drone system is absolutely great as well, because we can get the DFR up. The pilots realize I'm gonna need more flight time and assistance. One of them can jump into that truck and get in the area and go up. And they take that thing up and down continuously. Battery changes are quick on it. The truck charges batteries while it's up. So the
Yeah,
two systems working in tandem.
Our longest mission with the response vehicle was about 16 hours. So, continuous.
And Commission, I'll just add that the Sheriff's Department does currently have a policy that prohibits anybody other than our Special Enforcement Bureau from using drones. They are trained in the use of them. They do use them for those high-risk tactical incidents, such as the other night. They did deploy a drone into that location multiple times. But currently, there is a level of oversight that requires that it was only Special Enforcement Bureau. But I'll tell you this, probably in the next month, our sheriff is moving to change our department policy so that we can use the drones across the county for law enforcement.
And it's operational 24/7?
Not yet, we don't have the personnel for that, but I would love to do it 24/7.
How many pilots do you need?
To go 24/7, at least 10.
No kidding. How long you been doing it?
I've been doing it about a year and a half now.
Wow. You're an expert.
I would say so.
Good answer, yeah.
We're exploring the increase of pilots now, and I've been talking to the council about that. We will need additional pilots. We're not sure if we'll go 24/7. Probably what will happen is we'll look at the times throughout the day when it's most needed, and that could be, anywhere from 12 to 18 hours or something. And we'll make sure we're deployable during those times.
Well, after the figures we heard from last night, Cap and Chief, that could be less time. Fine. You guys are doing a great job. Unbelievable. Yeah.
How does this interact with, I know you have private individuals that have drones as, for lack of a better words, toys. How does that interact with you guys, and do they ever get in your way? Do you have to limit, stop them from being in an area?
So there's laws regarding civilian drones being over crime scenes or active investigation scenes. They're not supposed to be flying over those. So members of the public aren't supposed to be in that area. So if they are in that area, we ask them not to be.
Tim, there's a way that you were explaining to me, registered drones, they can be identified.
Yes. So if you're flying a drone legally, it's supposed to have remote ID broadcast on it, and we can see that information and where that drone is.
And something interesting, we're real estate brokers, so we'll use the drones to photograph the homes sometimes. But we were at the AVTA toy giveaway for Christmas, and we got permission. We said, hey, let's fly the drone, let's get a nice video. We couldn't fly it. It wouldn't record. We couldn't use our drone to record the cars in the toy giveaway. I don't know what you did, but nothing would record. So there is a deterrent from keeping random drones from, like just interrupting your work. But it wouldn't let us film that day.
We got a waiver to fly in that airspace. I don't know if they locked out other drones for that, but.
That's a possibility of locking them out like that?
I know we were locked out.
Yeah.
I was just trying to film Christmas toys. Yeah.
So is it operational at night?
The drones, yeah, we can fly them at night. So the DFR has infrared and thermal, so we're able to see individuals at night. It's not as clear as what you saw, but it is doable.
These things are amazing too, because they pretty much do every function that the helicopter does. I mean, there's even a spotlight attachment for our mobile drone, a PA system where we can broadcast announcements. Yeah.
But it won't do car chases. So if there's a car chase, that's where you need a helicopter. Anything else? Thank you.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the consent calendar, we have the minutes from the last 3 meetings. If there's, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? Are there any changes?
No changes.
Hearing none, if there's no objection, we'll deem the consent calendar approved. Hearing none, the consent calendar is approved, and we'll go into LA County Sheriff's Department. Deputy Groupie.
Good morning, Commission. My name is Deputy Kit Groupie, LA County Sheriff's Department, Lancaster Station, and I'm here to present the CompStat crime statistics for December of 2025. We're going to start out with criminal homicide for the month of December in the city of Lancaster, 18 with, for a total of 2025. 18 and 7 being in the unincorporated area. In the city, that's a drop 35.71% with an increase in the unincorporated area of 40 for a total drop of 24.24%. The city of Lancaster for forcible rape is at 91 with 10 in the unincorporated area for a total of 101. In the city, that's a 22.97% increase with a decrease at 47.37% in the unincorporated area for a total increase of 8.60%. Robberies are at 277 with 26 in the unincorporated area for a total of 303. That's a drop in the city at 1.07% and a drop in the unincorporated area at 7.14% for a total decrease of 1.62%. Aggravated assaults are at 888 in the city with 119 in the unincorporated area for a total of 1,007. That's a decrease at 9.48% the city of Lancaster and a decrease at 3.25% in the unincorporated areas for a total decrease of 8.79%. Burglaries are at 505 in the city, 101 in the unincorporated area for a total of 606. That's a 19.97% decrease in the city, a 21.71% decrease in the unincorporated area for a total decrease of 20.26%. Larceny thefts are at 1,075 in the city, 146 in the unincorporated area for a total of 1,221. That's a 4.10% decrease in the city and a 22.34% decrease in the unincorporated area for an overall decrease of 6.72%. Grand theft auto was at 1,064 in the city, 201 in the unincorporated area for a total of 1,265. That's a drop in the city at 23.89% and a drop at 46.26% in the unincorporated area for a total of a 28.61% decrease in grand theft autos. Arson is at 55 in the city, 14 in the unincorporated area for a total of 69. That's a 5.77% increase in the city with a 46.15% decrease in the unincorporated area for a total of 11.54% decrease overall. Total Part 1 crimes were at 3,973 in the city, 624 in the unincorporated area for a total of 4,597. In the city, that's a 12.97% decrease. In the unincorporated area, that's a 30.04% decrease for an overall decrease in Part 1 crimes at 15.76%. I'm going to move forward to arrests. From last year of December, there were 340. In 2025, there was 353 arrests made for the month. Go over your City of Lancaster Part 1 crime hotspot areas for December, which are always very consistent with your city calls for service. And then to follow that, generally it is close to the self-initiated observations by deputy sheriffs where they're proactively policing. We'll move on to the City of Lancaster traffic data for December of '25. Total of fatal crashes, there were 2. Total of crashes that involved injuries were 85. Non-injury crashes were at 75. There were 358 citations issued with a total of 28 DUI arrests. And that concludes my crime stat presentation for December of 2025. Were there any questions?
Is it possible in the future to get a comparison of the traffic data for December 25 as opposed to December 24?
Absolutely.
Just to see if it's high or lower or?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, if that's it, that concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, next up, we have the California Highway Patrol.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. Last month, about this time, we presented our area-specific, Antelope Valley area-specific strategic plan, which had some core objectives and measurables for our key results to make sure that we're on task throughout the year. One of our primary objectives, of course, is to reduce the fatal and serious crashes that we have in the Antelope Valley. Now, our jurisdiction is about 1,300 square miles, and in 2025, we had a total of 47 fatal traffic accidents. Our objective is to reduce that by 10% to at least 42, increase our DUI arrests by 5%, increase our special enforcement details from 5 to 8 annually. That would be a 60% increase. Increase our speed enforcement by 10% and increase our seatbelt enforcement. So our goal, of course, is to provide the highest level of safety, service, and security to the motoring public and to the people of the Antelope Valley. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is we're going to maximize our in-view patrol. We believe that there's no greater deterrent to criminal activity and poor driving than the uniformed presence of an officer. Just to give you an update, back in August, we reported that we had 7 new officers show up to the Antelope Valley area from the academy. Assembly member Tom Lackey was kind enough to come down to the office. He asked if he could provide some words of encouragement and brief those officers. So he did, and he provided some great advice. And he stood at the very podium that he briefed our officers for the last 2 decades. So I think it was beneficial not only for him, I think he enjoyed the experience, but also to our officers. I'm happy to report that all 7 just recently have successfully navigated field training, and they're all working the night shift here in Antelope Valley. At present, our staffing, I think that everything starts with staffing. We currently were allocated 49 officers, or 49 uniformed employees. That's 42 officers, 5 sergeants, 1 lieutenant, and myself. We have 1 officer who is still in training, And 28 weeks ago, we had 160 officers arrive at the academy steps. 129 graduated last week, and we're going to get 2 here in the Antelope Valley. So we're going to plus up. We have no outgoing transfers, so we will be at 51 officers come this time next week. And as far as the statistics, I printed out this presentation so you don't have to write them all down. Like, I'm going to hand those out to you afterwards. We're also going to focus on what matters. PCF, that's primary collision factor type violations, seatbelts and DUIs, because we know these are the types of violations that cause serious injury and death. We're also going to be out on our beats. And what we refer to a beat is a geographical area that's focused on frequent crashes and increased highway violence. So officers are assigned on patrol and are expected to be on their assigned shift, on their assigned beat throughout their shift. Now, what is an assigned beat? I put some statistics up here, and the only line beats that we have that go straight through the city of Lancaster is beat 11 and beat 21. Those go in the city. Everything else is kind of a adjacent city. We patrol the unincorporated areas around Lancaster. So I did just a quick query of traffic citations from January 1, 2025 till present, and we issued 7,803 citations, either in or about the city of Lancaster. That resulted in 910 arrests and 3,117 correctable violations. Now, on this slide, you can see where we did that, whether or not it was in the city on the 14 freeway or around the adjacent areas. In the city on the 14 freeway, we wrote nearly 4,000 traffic citations and made 427 arrests. In the city of Lancaster and Palmdale combined, we wrote 1,102 citations and 409 arrests. Now, it's important to know that although our primary jurisdiction is on the freeway and in the unincorporated area around Lancaster, our night shift patrols through the cities and oftentimes removes impaired drivers from those roadways. Here are the top 5 violations from these statistics. Exceeding 65 miles an hour at 2,350 citations, 55 miles an hour at 676. Our DUI enforcement, 656 of our total 849 DUI arrests. And these are not our total numbers. These are just numbers that are either in or around Lancaster. And then, of course, obstructed view, financial responsibility, those are also among the top 5. Okay. I wanted you all to get a sense of how many crashes we have. Again, this is just crashes in Lancaster or around Lancaster. How many we had in 2025, a total of 971 crashes and 16 fatalities. But you will see that in Lancaster proper, we only had 1 fatality on the 14 freeway. It's that yellow dot smack dab in the middle. Every other fatality accident that we had was in the unincorporated area around Lancaster. And then you can see that, and I wanted to separate the fatalities up top versus all crashes on the bottom because it gets kind of busy with all the crashes. But you can see that there's no one hot spot. They're kind of all over. So, this is something that we recognized, or I recognized about 7 months ago, that it's not one spot that we're looking at to fix. It's just overall, this is where they're occurring. The green is property damage only crashes. So you can see up the freeway, we have property damage only crashes. 485 of them occurred last year. And then compared to 2026 thus far, so this is just January figures, we had 1 fatality in unincorporated area in Quartz Hill and a total of 62 crashes, primarily either complaint of pain or property damage only. And then I talked earlier about our strategic plan and our stretch goals. And this is just a comparison between January of '26 versus January of '25. And I feel like we're off to a pretty good start. We set a goal of increasing speed enforcement by 10%, and speeding violations now our enforcement's up 93%, so that's fantastic. You'll see that we kind of are suffering right now in the DUI arrests. We're down about 25-ish, so 34%. And I'm going to attribute that to the fact that our entire night shift has just gotten off of break-in training. So it's just a matter of experience. And I think very soon their enthusiasm combined with some increased experience is going to turn those numbers around. But other than that, fatal collisions were down, which is great. Our patrol hours are up. Our overall ticket activity is up. So I think that we're trending in the right direction. Also, we've got some community outreach I wanted to speak to you about. For those of you that are familiar with the Every 15 Minutes program, we are communicating with a high school in the unincorporated area, and we're going to bring that outreach program. Every 15 Minutes is a very realistic, I don't know what the correct word would be, but it's a DUI scenario that's very realistic to everyone involved, including the parents of the high schoolers that participate in it. And basically, they stage a DUI crash fatality scene that includes our CHP helicopter and travel by ambulance to the emergency room and so forth. And it's quite impactful, and it's designed to share with the high school students how impactful and how important it is that they don't drive under the influence. So we're starting that. Start Smart is an outreach program aimed at teen drivers with new driver's licenses. We're starting that monthly. The first one is February 23rd. That class is completely full, but we're going to do it every month. And we're going to target these new drivers and get them the tools they need to be safe operators. We requested and were allocated 3 additional motorcycles to the Antelope Valley area for a total of 7 motorcycles. So that is going to help tremendously on the 14th freeway where there's congestion due to the construction. So 2 officer positions and 1 sergeant position. So that's great news for us. And with that, I'm just thankful. We appreciate your time, and I have any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Questions from the commission?
No, just a quick comment. Thank you so much for that. It's nice to see the numbers every month like that. Are we going to be able to see those every month, or is it just?
Absolutely. Well, I saw this, the live stream from last month, and I saw how the numbers from the ComStat report were put up, and I thought, you know what? We can do that.
Perfect.
So
Thank
we'll do
you.
that moving forward.
Okay, great.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, this is the first time we received that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, District Attorney's Office.
On behalf of the District Attorney's Office, I have our crime charging statistics for cases that were filed and or declined presented by the Lancaster station for both the months of December and January. In the area of arson cases, we filed 2 cases in December. There were no filings in that area in January. We declined 1 in December, and there were no declines in January. Auto thefts, we filed 10 cases. January 5, we declined 14 in December and declined 4 in January. Burglaries, which includes both residential and commercial burglaries, we filed 4 cases in December, 8 in January. We declined 2 in December and declined 5 in January. Criminal threats, we filed 2 cases in December. January, 2 cases, declined 4 in December, 1 in January. Drug sales, we filed 5 in December, 9 in January, declined 1 in December. There were no declines in drug sales in January. For domestic violence, there were 12 filings in December, 15 in January. 9 cases were declined, 9 were declined in December, and 5 were declined in January. Felony evading and hit and run cases, there were 5 cases filed in December, 1 in January. We did not decline any of those cases in either December or January. For felony assaults, and that includes assaults with deadly weapons and assaults by means likely to produce great bodily injury, December, there were 11 filings. January, 10. We declined 24 assaults in December and 14 in January. For felony DUIs, we filed 3 in December, 3 in January. There were no declines in either December or January for felony DUIs. Grand thefts and identity theft cases, we filed 4 in December, 7 in January. We declined 8 in December and 11 in January. Illegal firearms cases, we filed 10 in December, 2 in January, declined 4 in December, and there were no declines in January. For murders and attempted murder cases, we filed 3 in December, 4 in January. There were no declines in December or January. Robberies, 8 in December, 12 in January, 9 in declines in December, and 6 declines in January. For sex crimes, cases against both children and adults, there were 3 filings in December, 4 in January. We declined 4 in December and 2 in January. Vandalism, we filed 6 in December. There were no filings in January. We declined 4 in December, no declines in January. For violations of protective orders, we filed 25 in December, 10 in January. We declined 11 in December and 6 in January. The statistics that I provide for you, these are all our felony filing statistics. We file and review many more misdemeanor cases. The only area that is included in these statistics that are misdemeanor crimes are the violations of protective orders. The majority of those cases are misdemeanors. Do you have any questions about any of the filing statistics for the district attorney?
Commissioner?
Thank you very much for this chart. It's very helpful.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have public business from the floor on non-agendized items.
This is a time to address the Lancaster Criminal Justice Commission on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards can be found on the back table of the council chambers. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each unless a different time limit is announced. State law prohibits the commission from taking action on items not listed on the agenda. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. David Champson. Welcome, sir. Nice to see you.
How are you? Thank you. Good morning, commissioners. I'm a business owner in city of Lancaster. I've been doing business up here since 1994. We own several gas stations, shopping centers, car washes, and lately, for the past couple of years, the issue with the homelessness, it's become like really unbearable. You know, we've hired security guards. We do whatever we can to, you know, get them off the property, but unfortunately, we're not very successful. The Chief Rod is not here. I wanted to thank him and the City of Lancaster Police. For example, we've had a homeless person for the past 2 weeks that's been arrested 3 times by City of Lancaster Police. Keeps coming back. I've lost 2 cashiers because of him, because he's very threatening. He's keeps talking to himself. He's very scary. So I don't blame my cashiers for quitting because nobody wants to work in such an environment where somebody can come in and threaten you or, you know, does the things that he did. So I'm here to see what we can do, you know, to lessen this burden on the businesses. because hiring a security guard, hiring security altogether. Another thing, 2 weeks ago, we built this beautiful shopping center. A homeless came and broke 12 of the storefront glasses. And it wasn't the first time. We've spent maybe $20,000 past few months replacing glass. They go inside the new construction, they start fire. We've put out 3 fires by the fire department while we were under construction. They go, I mean, I don't want to say what they do inside, these buildings, but we really need to address this issue because it's becoming very difficult. So I'm here to see what we can do. I'm willing to pay if I could pay. If the city could do a fund, all the businesses will pay, and they do something about this. So.
Mr. Shamsian, you've had security outfits at your place of businesses?
Correct.
Okay. David and I have had a long-term relationship as far as some of the stuff that he's done. He's brought these to my attention many times. And I do know that the city has jumped through hoops. The sheriff's department's done a phenomenal job. It's a never-ending battle. And I don't think he's here to throw stones like he's been throwing stones from the homeless at his place of business. It's about what we can do and outreach. I know that Chief has contacted you about getting together.
Yes, it's
and
amazing.
Seeing,
yes.
What can be done. I know these individuals that there's a small handful that keep returning. And I get it, keeping your employees safe and everything else. And there's got to be more that, as a business owner, you can do. Or I do know that Chief and the captain has made it a priority of looking at this stuff and getting together with business owners and saying, what can we do as a group?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think business owners should come together and see what they can do, too.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose. See what we can do to overcome this issue.
Well, it's good that you're talking with the police department, the sheriffs, talk to the city as well, our community preservation team when it overlaps in their area. We're hamstrung with a lot of state law in this matter, so I'd also recommend talking to our state legislative reps. But thank you for bringing this.
Okay.
Where is a problem location at?
I got problems at Avenue K, 1752 West Avenue K. I got a problem at 42015 10th Street West. That's corner of K8 and 10th Street West. I got problems on Avenue M and 10th Street West. There's a ladies' first gym there. We got homeless coming and flashing themselves to the ladies who go to the gym. We have to constantly keep chasing them out, calling the sheriff, the police.
So it's pretty much all over the place.
All over the place.
And one of the biggest problems, I think, too, that arise is that, and the captain, we've talked on this many times, is that is understaffed in what our sheriff's department does. The last thing they need to do is go call on a broken window. I hate to say it that way, and I think you and I've had this conversation, is that, you call the sheriff's department, you can place a report, you can go online, place a report, and it could be 3, 4, 5 days before they respond because they're out there getting criminals, and that's what we want them to do. But in this particular case, I think with the police department and talking with Rod and seeing what can be done and getting together with other business owners, there has to be something that can be done.
And this is just this is not including all the theft that they come in and they do basically whatever they want.
Unfortunately, we're kind of limited on having a conversation.
Thank you very much for your time.
But we do encourage you, talk with the city staff. You can talk with us individually after, and we can help.
Sure.
Make,
Thank you.
other
Thank you for your
connections.
time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I'll just add that after the CERC, that we'll have a conversation with our team here, and we'll meet after and have some discussions about how we can help you out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. David Paul.
Chair Mercy, Vice Chair Little, and Commissioners, good morning. You know, I was feeling pretty good up until that last discussion, but the captain mentioned something about enthusiasm, and I think that's the thing that struck me most. That's what our law enforcement and our code enforcement people need to have, and those cameras, the drones, they're incredible, and they're going to help. And you know, I know what the realistic limitations are. The more you arrest, then has to be a place to put them in filings, and it's all a big, everyone doing the best they can. But for this gentleman here, and I've talked about this up here, I mean, it's almost something that you can't discuss, but people can go move those guys out of there, and I don't know. If there's anything I can do to help in that, I'd be willing, but I'm impressed with today's presentation last night's, you know, I'm proud of this city. It's doing its best, and its best exceeds most expectations, considering that you can't fix everything, but I appreciate what's being done, and we're gonna have to find a way to grapple with the homeless problem, especially the more organized and fearless they become. So, but good morning, everyone. Thank you, and let's just keep at it. Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you, sir. Anita Bordemay.
I'm shocked. I want to talk to you later. Really, this is organized crime. Again, I'm here. You stole my businesses. Every time I call the police, they don't answer my call when I'm being attacked by the homeless. The DMV, the insurance fraud alone that I could give this woman right here would put several people that have power and money in prison for life. Again, hidden hype clothing line. Jacoby and Myers, stealing state's evidence in a major car accident in Bakersfield, California, where organized crime tried to kill me. You want the documents? So what I decided to do is, Lexus, everybody's stealing my money. You're lying to this man. So what I decided to do is file a restraining order against Jacoby and Myers because I keep being attacked in my car. You're telling me that you want people put in jail. You put me in jail illegal with state's evidence, so I'm suing the FBI in a restraining order. This man should show up. You people straight out are lying. I can identify homeless people that tried to put me on fentanyl, that touched me with fentanyl. I'm a born-again, spirit-filled Christian, and this city has done nothing but steal my business. You guys are mocking the public. Human trafficking, I don't see anything about the children being human trafficked. I can give you a company. They're still human trafficking my daughter. I'm out there in my car. I'm homeless. You should see how they beat my car. The last city hall meeting, somebody attacked me right outside, busted my window. You should go outside and look at my car. You're all liars. God is going to expose this city for going after innocent people with Shekinah Worship Center. The state's evidence that I have, I hope the FBI shows up on a restraining order and puts Conrad Torres' family in prison. Some of the crimes that are going on are being done by police. I've been attacked by your own officers. You're not protecting the real people. I was made homeless. I'm a self-made millionaire. Billions of coins stolen. I have murders that I've reported because John, an old officer, broke in my car. My daughter was attacked in Bakersfield, California by 5 officers and almost murdered in front of me. And then they said, plant the evidence and kill the mother. And then the car accident happened January 2nd, 2025. The insurance fraud on our housing, done by my own family members. When are you going to investigate it? When? I haven't even been able to get an investigation from me being human trafficked from Florida to California. You people lie. I don't even know how you can stand yourself. You're letting the industry human traffic 14-year-olds in the mall at Victoria's Secrets. I bet you call yourself a Republican. You left it to Donald Trump to get rid of abortions only because there was no more funding. The Republicans paid for abortions. You people are liars. You're going to be exposed. And if I do get murdered for coming back to this city hall meeting, it was Rex Paris. I have state's evidence on his lawyers using the name Anita Nichols. This is all insurance fraud.
Okay. There's having no more speakers, commissioner comments? Nope. Okay. Having reached the end of the agenda, is there any objection to adjourning to our next meeting Wednesday, March 11th at 10 a.m.? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Okay. So, my office is just across the, can you mind coming over for a little bit?
I need one. Mine's a little shaggy.